What's going on, guys? Christian here from CK Wrap. So today I'm going to show you how to wrap the hood on a 2018 Challenger Hellcat. This car's brand new, a couple months old. We're wrapping this whole car in 3M Caribbean, satin Caribbean shimmer, and then the hood is getting wrapped in Avery satin black, as well as the mirrors and door handles. So I'll just have some accents to kind of pop. Now, what you're going to want to do first off is remove the scoops. Those are very important. It's going to help you be able to tuck around the edges a lot better. It's also going to allow you to lay into recesses and things like that a lot easier, so you can kind of pull the vinyl through or push the vinyl through a lot better, as opposed to pushing it only up to the very edge, and then we run into tension on our edges, so the edges can pull back. Now, everything that I'm using today is going to be posted in the description below, so if you're looking to get anything, don't forget to visit the description below. The special tools that I use from Sign-Maker Tools, they're fantastic, especially this guy right here, Wrap Stick Flex. I use gecko patches. I have my blade breaker box, etc., etc. Squeegee's magnetic, that kind of stuff. So, these are handy tools to have, because I can literally put my squeegee on the surface and it'll stick to anything that's magnetic. So great stuff to have. You'll get a discount on products like that if you visit their website and use the promo code in the description below. I believe it's CK Wrap Special, or CK Special, that's what it is. So, first off, what we're going to do is we've prepped the surface with isopropyl alcohol. I use 70% isopropyl alcohol, and I wipe the whole thing down. I've also clay barred the front end just to make sure that there aren't any imperfections embedded into the paint. There are some imperfections in the paint, which I'm going to show you with the GoPro. This way you can see kind of what to expect when you buy a brand new car, that there is usually imperfections in the paints, almost no matter what with any brand you go with. It happens. They're far and few between, but they are there. On top of that, there's some very minor stone chips, but nothing crazy. Nothing that I don't think he's ever going to see. Was one on the edge over here, but it's very small. Anyways, let's turn the GoPro on so we can get the action video going and give you a better point of view on what I'm doing. Now, I'm going to leave that camera running in front of me, the main camera, so I have audio, and I'll leave a little box up in the top corner so you can kind of see what I'm doing from further back. And let's get the GoPro running right now. Excellent. So the GoPro is running, and I'm going to get to this. So what I want to show you right now is, hopefully you can see, there is an imperfection embedded in the paint right here. I'm just trying to get you some light to reflect off of that. There's also another one beside it somewhere right there. And they're in there, okay? So there's not much you can do about that. I'm not going to send the brand new car down in order to get rid of that. It is what it is, all right? Now, this car is magnetic, thankfully, as opposed to the last car that I did, the Ford Raptor, that wasn't magnetic. So I've already pre-cut my sheet. This is a 68-inch wide sheet by 60 inches long. We're going to take this and place it on top of the hood, okay? We're going to get it into a position that we need it to be in. So one magnet there. I don't have a lot of excess film on the end, so no big deal. Just want to make sure that the marks come out from the magnets. So the magnets will leave marks or impressions in the vinyl if you're not careful. So I'm going to slide the vinyl up a bit just to get rid of that, because I don't think that it's going to come out. Usually it doesn't leave marks or impressions in the vinyl until after, but hey, it's leaving them in now. So usually it leaves the impressions in the vinyl if you leave the magnet on the car after you've already wrapped the panel. All right, so the panel is in place, and I'm going to slap one magnet down here. Good, we're past the edge, that's good. So like I said, the hood is also very square, so it's pretty straightforward to do. It's not going to be the most difficult hood wrap. The scoops, again, once you remove the scoops themselves, becomes much, much easier. So the issue with this, doing the hood wrap so high up, is that you can see that the vinyl is resting on the window, which is going to cause me resistance. So I will have to trim that away once I get the backing paper off and the vinyl into the position that I need it to be in. What we want to do is we want to roll the backing paper off, okay? Very important. I don't want to cause any unnecessary creasing in the vinyl, so we'll stick that down there so it doesn't pull off. So yeah, we keep it as flat as possible. So the next step here is to get rid of our paper and to glass this vinyl out. By glassing the vinyl out, what I mean is by pulling the vinyl across so that it's flat. We need to get it into a position. We need to get it into a flat position. That's the important part here. What I want to do here is also want to leave some slack around the hood scoop so that I can lay into the recess in this area right here. So I'm going to begin. I'm going to start from the middle, and it's a long reach. We don't need to go quite to the very end, it's fine. We want to keep our squeegee on a nice 45-degree angle for the most part. That's going to prevent you from getting creases and things like that. So I'll use my thumb for this area right here. A little bit easier. Once I hit this body line, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of stop, move to the other side, squeegee out the rest, the other half of this. Now Avery will trap air as well as soon as it starts to settle. So you have to keep that in mind. That if you're not lifting up your edges to allow the air out, you're gonna have to move a little bit slower. It's not a big deal though. Okay, so now I'm gonna work this side. What I wanna do is, I wanna push the vinyl in here. Let's get that going. Now I wanna work the hood scoop first so that I don't get too many glue lines. Lift up from the edge so I can give myself some slack. There we go. Any little bit will help, okay? And then from here, we bring the vinyl out. Who's calling? No one that I know. I don't want to stretch too aggressively, I just want to be very moderate. Okay, and then here, what we want to do is we want to find the edge right around there. And then what I want to do is I'm going to cut just below that edge. So I can do, this is somewhat of a relief cut, right? I'm using my thumb as a guide right now. So again, we're finding the edge. There we go. Now, what I'm going to use is my glove. If we do this with minimal tension, we won't really need a lot of heat, or any. So having the scoop out is going to allow me to pull the vinyl through slightly. There we go. So that can stay there. Let's continue to work the vinyl out to the sides. So I want to fix up this little bit right here. There we go. And just kind of lock that in. So don't be too afraid to stretch the vinyl, you can. This is not that crazy of a recess right here, so we can. We've got a lot of surface area where it makes a lot of contact. So it's not like a small, tight area where we're stretching into. It's a lot, we have quite a large area there. So it makes it a lot better and a lot more reliable. Oops. I'm just going to allow the air out right here, and I'm just going to keep this flat. We want to move fairly quick. We don't need to move too quick, but we want to move fairly quick. Right? So I'm just going to have a peek again and see where that hood scoop goes. Okay, I can see it all. Good with that. Again, some stretching of the vinyl is always required. So what I want to do is I want to tackle this area here, start right around here, and we're going to find that edge, okay? This way I can do a relief cut. Again, it's all about relief cuts and alleviating tension as much as you can. So right around here I can do a relief cut, back of the blade on the back side. Cutting is something that you're going to acquire as a skill, okay? It's not going to be the easiest thing to do in the beginning. So now what I want to do is work this down, and I can actually pull here with my right hand. That's what I'm doing, is I'm kind of pulling the vinyl through, okay? And I'm keeping it tight. It's going to be very important to keep the vinyl tight. Keeping the vinyl tight is going to keep wrinkles away. We don't want to keep it so tight that it's stretching the vinyl. We just want to keep it tight so that it's keeping the wrinkles away. Cool, so we've made it to the edge. I can leave that for a moment, and let's just finish up that little bit right there. So this glove is fantastic. I use it quite often. Okay, the other side's done. Let's do this side. We have to balance this out slightly again. Let's just start to settle. There we go. Let's just get it unstuck. You can see how easily the Avery goes down. It conforms very nicely. And then I missed a spot right here. So I'm just going to be very gentle when it comes to doing this because I don't want to leave a circular glue line. It's going to look ugly. And if you add heat, you'll definitely will get a glue line, so try not to add heat when you're doing stuff like that. Lift it up and get the edges flat again. There we go. So what I recommend is anytime someone brings you a brand new car, what you want to do is you want to document whatever you might come across, either while they're there or take pictures and video, because you may not see every little imperfection until you start getting really close to the car and prepping it. If you're a car detailer, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because car detailers will see everything as well. Usually we see more than most people will see. that is. It comes off though. Okay. Perfect. Let's do the scoop again. So again, to put my glove on. Push down. And I'm going to find that spot or the edges. Cool. Back of the blade, back side, okay? We don't need to tuck around a lot. It's not going to be a very critical area as far as failure might happen. So we can cut mostly on the edge. Now again, I'm going to pull through like this, give you a better perspective here. And that just kind of keeps it tight. See, if I pull it too tight, then I have issues putting the vinyl down. So I have to let it come down and keep it tight at the same time. It's kind of a combination of the both. Let's start over here now. Let's balance it out. So let's switch spots because my right hand is better over on this side. Will I need to post heat this? I'll go over it with some heat afterwards. It won't be imperative, but it will be just a kind of a little safety feature. It's always good to go over your edges and recesses and stuff like that with a bit of heat. It doesn't hurt, and it only takes a minute. Cool. Let's finish up this. So it's trapping air again. Let's get it popped up there, and let's finish this off. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut it away from the window, and we're going to start doing all our cutting and trimming. So I'm going to give myself about an inch, half an inch. Don't cut into the wiper blades, be very careful, or anything else that's behind this section. We'll just take care of this right now. So once I get it around here, I'll just hold it, keep it tight. Loose vinyl is very hard, very difficult to cut. I don't even know where that little piece came from, but hey, it's there. Okay, let's get it out. Again, same thing here. Excellent. Let's get the scoop section done here. Just double checking, making sure I'm always around. We always want to triple check, double, triple check. Make sure you've got the coverage that you need. That's obviously the most important thing. I'm going to lift it over this little tab so I don't cut it. Come back down to the recess. Perfect. Go over all that right there. Now we'll finish up the back section right here, and then we're ready to lift the hood up. So I can tackle all the edges. Take my glove off for a moment. So I'm going to get this unstuck. Again, you can cut on the fender side if you wish to, and you can cut across the bumper side if you wish to and leave the hood flat. This is how I like to do it. This just takes an extra 2 minutes. It's not always about being fast. I can spend an extra 2 minutes here and there for stuff like this. Will add up to maybe an extra hour over the whole car. Maybe. That's not a big deal though. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that for the outcome that I strive for. Okay, so we're good. Let's lift it up. Let's just make sure nothing is stuck down here. And let's make sure nothing is stuck down the other side. Perfect, and we're good. So I'm going to leave this hood at a certain angle, if I can. There's my tool. Perfect. Because it gives me better access to the corners. Now we're going to go over and do all of this right here. So these corners are actually quite easy on this particular car. We don't need to do a lot. We can just heat it up, stretch it a little bit, and then just kind of come around the corner. It's not a crazy aggressive corner. Where by aggressive corner, what I usually mean is that the corners can be quite tall, okay? So if this corner is like thicker and not so skinny, we have to wrap around more because it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get the vinyl a little bit deeper down and nice, and still have full coverage. All right, let's just go over the rest of this right here. Don't even really need heat right now. Yeah, that's about it for that one. That's easy. Let's touch this with a bit of heat just to make sure we have no pullback, because I see some wrinkles on the edge. So we always want to test those wrinkles on the edge and make sure they're not pulling back. So several passes with your thumb and a glove on. That's going to get you a nice even line. My extension cord is very twisted up, as you might notice. Again, let's do this guy over here. Again, we don't have to go nuts with these corners. They are pretty intermediate or even beginner level. Great ones to practice on for sure. All right, now we're ready to cut. When I cut, back of the blade, back side, okay? As soon as this vinyl starts to get really flimsy, all I'm going to do is hold on to it tight like I am right now. I'm going to come around underneath the corner, okay? That's the important part right there. Same deal. We want to keep the vinyl taut, so that way it's not flopping around. That'll give us a cleaner, straighter cut. Normally I start on the other side. I'm right-handed, it would have made more sense. So we do not force the blade, okay? I'm just going to go around the other side and do this because it's easier for me. Just cutting backwards there. So again, I'll hold it. Once we finish all the cutting, we're going to go over the entire hood with heat on all the edges particularly, and then we're done. By leaving less film underneath the corners, around the corners, you're able to do a nicer corner, okay? So if you leave a lot of vinyl on the corner, it's going to make it much more difficult to keep a nice, flat looking, smooth corner. So this is all cut off. We're going over it with heat and then we're done. A little bit more emphasis with the heat on the corners just to make sure they hold down and they hold tight. That's it, guys. That's all it is. So you guys want to look at those? Okay. So make sure everything's good for myself. Have a peek at it. Hopefully you guys can see. All right. Oh, missed this little edge right here. Push that down. There we go. That's why you do a couple of passes, and you always go over your work afterwards, making sure that everything looks clean. Okay, same deal over here. Super nice, right? So let me get this up, and we can kind of see the bottom side. And that's pretty much it. Can't even see where it ends. So that is the extent of the hood wrap, guys. Now, if you guys thought this video was helpful and you like the point of view with the GoPro, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Again, a link to everything that I'm using in the description below. If you guys are looking to do this yourself, great modification to do, especially on the front end of your car. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. That took about 20 minutes or so. Again, Avery satin black, and all the tools you need in the description below. Great modification to any car, great little addition. It's also going to protect the hood from a lot of stone chips, regular wear and tear, that kind of stuff. Again, guys, if you like the video, thumbs up, and if you want to see some more, don't forget that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Again, thank you for watching. Take care.